This is WISN 12 News with breaking news.
We are interrupting programming to bring you a Milwaukee Police News Conference. They'll be updating us on the arrest of 20-year-old Najee Harmon. Here is Milwaukee Police Chief Ed Flynn.
Late this morning, the Milwaukee police officers responded to a home on the 2500 block of North 21st Street. The Wauwatosa Police Department had received a telephonic tip that Najee Harmon, the suspect believed responsible for yesterday's shooting of a Wauwatosa police detective near 60th and Good Hope, was inside of that residence. Officers from the Milwaukee Police Department Fugitive Apprehension Unit searched the home, and a Milwaukee canine found Harmon hiding in the basement. Harmon was arrested without incident. Neither the suspect nor any of the officers involved in the investigation were injured. Harmon is currently in Milwaukee police custody, and the investigation at the home, which belongs to an acquaintance of Harmon's, is continuing. The 52-year-old Wauwatosa police detective injured in the shooting remains hospital in serious and stable but improving condition. We certainly offer him our prayers and best wishes for a full and speedy recovery. At this point in the investigation, we are not seeking any other subjects, and we will be working closely with the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office on securing charges in the coming days. I thank the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Administration for offering a $5,000 reward for information relating to Harmon's arrest. That reward may have played a role in this morning's arrest. We're also thankful for the assistance of several law enforcement jurisdictions yesterday. Certainly, of course, the Wauwatosa Police Department, but also the Brown Deer Police Department, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, the FBI and ATF, as well as the Postal Service. All responded yesterday and offered key assistance in those areas that are their unique expertise. Yesterday was quite a day for the Milwaukee Police Department. Just to provide some context, the entire time that this manhunt was occurring, we were also policing one of the largest community-based events the city ever holds. And that's the thousands and thousands of people who come and participate in the Juneteenth celebrations on Martin Luther King Drive. Yesterday, that major event went off with virtually no incident and only 9 arrests. And we do want to take a moment to thank the organizers who worked so closely with the police department to develop the appropriate level of security to help make sure that this event stayed family-friendly and safe. That's our big picture. Certainly, I want to point out something to all of you, which I think is relevant. Mr. Harmon, according to court records, has 2 felony convictions. He was convicted of battery related to a 2011 case. A sentence of 1 year in the House of Corrections was stayed, and he was placed on 18 months probation after he pleaded guilty to those charges in May of 2012. Then in 2012, while he was still on probation, he was charged with theft. As a result, his probation was revoked in December of 2012. He was convicted of the theft charge, which is also a felony, after he pleaded guilty in August 2013, and a 15-month prison sentence was stayed, and he was placed on 3 years of probation. He was still on probation when he became a suspect in a June 16th robbery, part of the proceeds of which, the stolen car, we recovered yesterday while we were searching for him. If you have any questions, I will attempt to answer those that I can.
Do you think the acquaintance knew that the suspect was inside?
We don't know that. We do know that the people who live in that house are acquaintances of him. That might be a fair inference, but the people who live in that house have not been cooperative with us, so certainly from their testimony we haven't gotten any evidence of that.
Can you talk about how much ground you had to cover in the search?
Well, obviously geographically there's a lot of ground, but an investigation like this has to proceed on several fronts, trying to develop informants, working with colleague agencies, trying to make sure that everybody knows what they need to know when they need to know it, balancing the public's wanting to know about a critical incident with the needs of the investigation, deciding, for example, yesterday when it was safe for us to release a photograph of a named suspect, in which that had to wait until we'd had photo arrays with witnesses, because if the witnesses see his picture on TV, a defense attorney can compromise their identifying that subject from a photo array. So there were balancing acts both from an investigatory point of view, from a tactical point of view. You saw the efforts we went through yesterday when we thought we had the individual in a house. Extraordinary amount of effort was put into creating a circumstance where he might be apprehended safely and without injury. Today, the same thing. So it's a very complex investigation, and it's quite remarkable that starting from yesterday, when there was no named suspect, remember the TOSA detectives encountered this man serendipitously. They were on another investigation. They saw this car that was this proceeds from a robbery as well, and then encountered this individual who opened fire on them upon being questioned. So with no information about the identity of this suspect, in a little more than 24 hours, we were able to develop a name, a photograph, follow him from several different locations, and ultimately successfully apprehend him without anyone being injured.